So, today we are diving into a really gripping one-act play by Yukio Mishima called The Face in the Mirror. And what you've got here is this incredibly tense late-night auction. But the thing is, the item on the block? It's not just some antique. No, it's basically the container for someone's entire past. The whole drama really forces us and you to ask this one central question. What's the price of your past? I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. If every single memory, every trauma, every big moment of change you've ever had, what if it was all stuffed into a single object? What would that even be worth? So, picture this. We're in a private viewing at an antique shop way after closing time. The room is just filled with these wealthy bidders. You've got this mysterious woman, and then there's the auctioneer, who you can just tell is selling something way more valuable than just furniture. Everyone's here for this very strange event. Okay, so section 1, a stage is set. And believe me, in this play, the setting isn't just some random backdrop. No, it's practically a character all on its own, creating this atmosphere that's just thick with mystery and anticipation. You've got this private room, it's filled with all sorts of priceless objects, but nobody's looking at them. All eyes are on just one thing, this massive, imposing wardrobe. And it's not just big, it has a presence, a kind of weight that just completely dominates the room, and really, everyone's imagination. All right, let's meet the key players in this whole drama. First up, we have Kyoko. She's a dancer, and her connection to this wardrobe, well, it's super personal and it's painful. Then there's the antique dealer. He's less of a salesman and more like a poet of materialism, if that makes sense. You've got the bidders, of course, who just see the wardrobe as a fancy status symbol. And then there's the apartment manager. He's the outsider who shows up later and just brings this whole thing to a screeching halt. And that brings us right to our second section, the soul of a wardrobe. This is the moment where the dealer really starts to spin his web, turning this piece of furniture into something, well, something almost mythological. The language the dealer uses here is absolutely key. He's not selling a place to hang your clothes, he's selling an idea. He calls the wardrobe a giant that awakens terrifying fantasies. I mean, wow. He's tapping right into the bidder's desire for something more than just beauty, something that goes way beyond the everyday. And with an introduction like that, boom, the bidding begins. But like the dealer made crystal clear, the stakes here are so much higher than just money. They're bidding on a fantasy. They're bidding on a piece of someone's soul. So now we get to the frantic heart of the play, a desperate bidding war. The pace just explodes, the tension goes through the roof, and the whole room basically turns into a battlefield of egos and pure desire. It all starts simply enough. 50,000 yen. Okay, a respectable opening price for a nice antique. But it does not stay there long. Nope, the price immediately doubles. 100,000 yen. You can just feel that competitive energy starting to crackle in the air. And then, a huge jump. 300,000 yen. See, we're already moving way beyond the object's actual value here. This is about pure want. And then, the explosion. 1 million yen. Just like that. The bidding turns into this total frenzy, right? It's a performance of wealth, and the wardrobe itself is almost forgotten. But there is one person in that room who can't forget. And right there, at the absolute peak of this bidding war, Kyoko just shatters the whole illusion. Her cry just cuts right through all the noise. And when she says, "I am a dancer," listen, she's not just telling them her job. She is claiming her identity, an identity that is completely, inextricably linked to that wardrobe. And this moment just perfectly lays out this central conflict, doesn't it? I mean, on one side, you've got the bidders and the dealer. To them, it's a beautiful object, a commodity, an investment. But for Kyoko, on the other side, it's something else entirely. It is, in her own words, my past, my flesh and blood. So her outburst just stops everything cold and brings us to the real emotional core of the play, Kyoko's confession. This is where she finally reveals why this wardrobe means so much to her. And what a powerful, just chilling line that is. She's not trying to get back some beautiful memory here, not at all. She's staring at a monument to her own pain. The wardrobe isn't a treasure chest, it's a tomb. For her, this object is basically a sensory prison. It holds the ghosts of her youth, these traumatic memories, and even a specific, suffocating smell of flowers that's tied to this huge defining moment in her past. It's literally a physical manifestation of her history. And here's the paradox at the very heart of her story. The wardrobe, it's the site of this profound trauma for her, a kind of symbolic death. But it was through that very death that she was transformed into the person, the dancer, that she is today. So it represents both her destruction and her creation at the exact same time. So just as this raw, emotional confession is hanging in the air, the real world just intrudes. The apartment manager shows up. He's this figure of just, normal, everyday authority, and he has no idea what kind of intense psychological drama he just walked into. And just like that, with his arrival, the spell is broken. The chaos just stops. And that leads us to the quiet, haunting finale. The face in the mirror. All that frantic energy from the auction, it's gone. It's been replaced by this still, incredibly tense silence. The matter's settled. The wardrobe is sold and the deal is done. But Kyoko, she's allowed one last moment with the object that has defined her entire life. One last look inside. And this is the breathtaking final image. Just Kyoko, all alone, looking into that wardrobe's mirror. So what is she seeing? Is it the young girl who was killed inside? Or is it the dancer who was reborn from that pain? She's confronting her own history, and maybe, just maybe, for the very first time, she's seeing the person she is now, totally separate from it. Which leaves all of us with this one final, lingering question. When the auction's over, after the object is sold, after you've come face to face with the container of your entire past, who is the person left behind? What are you, really, without the things that made you?